Yeah, I will begin. So I'll just share my screen quickly. I've just got a short PowerPoint presentation. And then, yes, like I said, we'll head directly into the demos. Let me know if you can see my screen. If you can't, then do also let me know as well. Yeah, we'll begin. So thank you everyone for joining today. So the webinar today is just to show you some Copilot hacks that should hopefully be able to save you hours on your work week. My name's Denzel. I'm an account manager at Advantage. And today we'll cover a range of tools and techniques ranging from emails to meetings to documentation and also data. So hopefully you will learn some practical tips that you can take into your everyday roles straight away. And the goal ultimately is to help you regain some valuable times in your work days through some of these simple but powerful productivity hacks. Before we start, I do just want to gauge everyone's experience with Copilot so far. So the question is going to be, have you used Microsoft 365 Copilot before? So I'm just going to put in a quick poll. If you're not able to obviously interact with the poll, just let me know or put your answer in the question. So the question is going to be, have you used Microsoft 365 Copilot before? So the answers are going to be A, you've never used it, and you're brand new to Copilot and you have no access as well. And then B, you've tried it a few times, so you've got some basic familiarity with Copilot. Or C, you use it regularly and you're an active Copilot user. Or D, not yet, you're brand new to Copilot, but you do have access. So what I'll do is I'll just put the poll in there just so that you guys can interact with it. So if you just select whichever one is most applicable to yourselves. So yeah, whether you're brand new and you have no access, you've tried it a few times, you use it regularly, or you're brand new, but you do have access, but you've just not been able to use it as much as you probably would like to. Thank you. I've got some answers coming in. We've got a mix between people who have some basic familiarity and also people who use it regularly. So I've got a few active Copilot users. So hopefully you can learn a little bit today. Hopefully I can, teach you at least one thing that you can take into your roles. Okay, we've got someone who's brand new to Copilot and has access. No one yet who is new to Copilot and doesn't have access. So at least you've all got a base understanding then of what Copilot is and what it does. So hopefully, yeah, today I can just show you a few tips and tricks to be able to further, increase your productivity in using Copilot. So thank you very much for interacting with the poll. So I'll just end that, close the poll. So just going back to my presentation. So yeah, based on the poll, it looks like a lot of you have got a good understanding in terms of what Copilot is and what it does. So just in a short nutshell, so Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot is an AI system which is built directly into the apps that you already use today. So things like Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So the beauty of it is it allows you to simply type in within plain English your request, and Copilot will help you to, whether that's drafting your emails, summarizing meetings, or analyzing data. And Copilot understands your work context by accessing your emails, your documents, your calendar, and connecting your data across your Microsoft 365 environment. So unlike any other standalone AI tools, Copilot is actually integrated into your workflow. It's always there when you need it, and there's no need to switch between different apps to be able to actually get to the end result. So Copilot actually brings in this new era of AI-powered productivity. It changes how individuals and organizations get work done, not only just for yourselves, but also at scale as well. And with its built-in security and compliance in mind, it means that you're actually operating within your robust Microsoft 365 boundary, which further protects your data as well. And what we've seen is that users are reporting savings of up to 10 hours plus per month by automating these routine tasks and streamlining their workflows. And beyond individual productivity, Copilot helps your organization to innovate faster, make data-driven decisions quicker, and also achieve your strategic objectives. So as you all know, there are different versions of Copilot that are available, and these are available to meet various needs of various users and also various needs of different organizations as well. So you've got the free version of Copilot, which is best for personal use and trying out AI. This is a web-based chat interface, but this doesn't have access to your web data. And then you've got Microsoft 365 Copilot Business, which is designed for small to medium businesses, so up to 300 users, which integrates with all of your Microsoft 365 applications and providing access to your emails, files, Teams, and more. And then you've got Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is for enterprise and larger organizations, which includes all the features of business, plus advanced governance, analytics, and enterprise compliance controls. So you see a visual comparison here of what's included between free, business, and enterprise. And today we're just going to focus on the business and also enterprise applications, which are integrated into your data and secured by your organization. And then for those who do want to play around with AI and Copilot, you've got Copilot Studio as well, which is a low-code platform that allows you to build your own custom AI agents, which are tailored to your specific business processes. And then with the enterprise version, this offers more advanced agent lifecycle management and governance as well. So what sets Microsoft 365 Copilot apart? So a lot of people do use other AI tools, but Copilot offers key advantages over other consumer AI tools, which other people are using, so like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. So one of the biggest benefits with Copilot is that your data stays within your organization's Microsoft 365 tenant. So this ensures full compliancy and security. And Copilot is deeply ingrained into your Microsoft 365 applications, as you already know, which allows seamless workflow without context switching from different applications. And Copilot understands your business context, so it accesses your emails, documents, and other data as well. But it only does this within permissions. So Copilot will only show you what you already have permission to see. Anything else that you don't have permission to see, Copilot does not go beyond that. Copilot also provides you enterprise-grade security and compliance and helps you to meet any industry requirements that you have to meet, and also enables team-wide knowledge sharing and collaboration. And organizations who use Microsoft 365 already report faster document creation and reduced meeting follow-up time as well. So before we go into the actual quick demos, I just wanted to run another quick poll very, very quickly, just to see which app consumes most of your time at the moment. So I just want to see where Copilot can make the biggest impact for yourselves. So I'll just run another quick poll just to see where Copilot can help. So I'm just going to launch the poll. So which app currently at the moment consumes most of your time? So we're looking at Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. And the beauty of Copilot is that it transforms productivity in all of these applications. So yeah, these hacks should work across all your entire Microsoft 365 environment as well. So we've got Outlook, which seems to be quite a popular one. So yeah, Outlook, I would say, definitely takes a lot of time for myself, and also Teams as well, especially Teams meetings. I would say that's definitely an application that consumes a lot of my time. Yep, so we've got Outlook, seems to be quite a popular one. Yeah, and Teams as well. And then we got one for PowerPoint. Doesn't look like Excel is very popular right now. Oh, we've got one for Excel. Perfect. So it looks like, yeah, at least all of these apps consume quite a lot of time for everybody. And yeah, more than one of these apps can also consume a lot of time for yourself. So hopefully within some of these demos, you can learn something. So I'll just end the poll there. It looks like Outlook is the clear winner. So yeah, based on that, then I will start sharing some of my tips and tricks. So what we'll do is I will then start with Outlook based off the back of that poll. Bear with me, let me just get my conversation that I had. So here is a conversation that I had with Christo, my colleague Christo. So I emailed Christo regarding a conversation about our managed IT services. It's quite a wordy, quite a lengthy email. And then at the end, I just asked him for availability for a call next week so we can talk through the details of these. And then Christo then sent me a reply with what he wants to talk about. I then replied back, and then Christo then replies back as well. So one of the benefits of Outlook is obviously being able to summarize threads. So let's say you've been out of the office for a couple of days, or you've just been very, very busy, and there's been a thread, an email thread that's just been building up and building up in the background. You've not had time to read it. Previously, you would have to go through each and every single email to be able to actually find out what was talked about, what was discussed, any other outstanding actions. However, by using Microsoft 365 Copilot and Outlook, Copilot will do this for you straight away. So there's a little button here. So if you select Summary by Copilot, it will scan through the information, scan through that whole email thread to actually pull in some information that it feels is relevant to yourself. So I'm just waiting for that to scan information. Just give it a second. Usually is a lot quicker than this. This is the beauty of doing live demos. Let me see if I can reopen that email chain again. Ah, there it is. So you can see Copilot has now summarized that email thread. So it's given me just a short summary, which is a lot more digestible. Typically, I would probably spend minutes or hours trying to summarize each and every single email, trying to read each and every single email to then find out exactly what the summary is, what's been mentioned, and what are the outstanding actions. So as you can see here, it'll tell me who I reached out to, what they then said, and then also, which is I find pretty helpful, is it will mention any unresolved issues or tasks that need to be outlined. So here it says the main unresolved issues, finalizing which services to promote for immediate client impact and aligning on the launch approach. And then what I will show you next is also then replying using Copilot. So if I want to reply back to Christo, I will use this draft with Copilot action. So what do you want this email to say? So I've just had a prompt that I have written out already. So I want to draft a reply to Christo finalizing which services to prioritize for immediate client impact for the call using a friendly tone. And then I also ask Copilot, look at our calendars and suggest 5 free slots that we can meet. And then I just start. Then hopefully Copilot will draft that email reply to Christo and also look at our calendars and suggest some free slots that we can then meet for that call. There we go. So my reply is now done, and Copilot has also done the reply based on what was discussed in the previous email thread. It's got some services here to talk about, and then it's also gone through both of our calendars to find out which times are available for both of us as well. So I haven't had to spend that time to go through Outlook to search when are we both available. Copilot has done that for me. And then if I want to make any changes to that email, if I still don't feel like it's good enough for me, I can make some changes myself. And that's one of the things I should obviously caveat in terms of Copilot. Always make sure that you do review and make sure that you're happy with whatever output that Copilot provides. It is still an assistant at the end of the day. It's not meant to replace yourselves and do all of your work for you. So it's still meant to help you. So if I do want to make any changes to this, what I would do is I would just select the piece of text that I want to make any changes, and then I can either make it shorter, longer, I can auto rewrite, or I can actually get some coaching. So if I select get coaching, Copilot will provide me with some suggestions of how I can make this email better, and it will show them all on here for me. So I can add a brief, I can strengthen reader involvement gently, I can also clarify priorities and context. If I'm happy with all of these, I can just apply suggestions, I can dismiss them, or I can ask Copilot to retry. If I'm happy with all suggestions, I can just select apply all suggestions, and then Copilot will show me a preview of what that email will look like going forward, and then I can just select replace, and it will replace that for me. And then one of the benefits as well of using Copilot is I can then also ask it to help me to set up a meeting agenda. So I'm supposed to have a call with Krista regarding discussions on these managed IT services. So if I just copy that title, add it in there, and then if I put Krista's name on there, I can select draft an agenda for me. Maximize that so it's easier for you guys to see. And then what it's doing is actually looking through the information of our email, any chats that are related to that title, and getting that information as well so that it can provide me with an agenda that's actually relevant to the conversation that I've actually had with Krista. And then once again, it will show me where it's putting this information, and then I'll read the agenda that is created for me, make sure that I'm happy with it. If I want to make any changes, I can also do that here. But if I'm happy with it, select keep it, and then I can just send, and then that meeting invite is already done. So that's quite a cool tip that I've found recently in terms of helping you generate those meeting agendas where sometimes you're not too sure exactly what the agenda should be, or if you just want to put something as a first draft so then you can go through it and amend it yourself. So yeah, in terms of Copilot for Outlook, it's really helping you to save that time by showcasing how you can write emails better, by drafting emails for you, summarizing email threads, providing you coaching, and also providing an understanding in terms of meeting invites as well. If you have any questions in the meantime, just do let me know. You can pop them in the chat and I will try to answer them as I go. And then in terms of the next application that I'm going to show you, so this is going to be on Microsoft Teams. And personally for me, this is probably one of my favorite ones and where I've seen to get a lot of benefit from using Microsoft 365 Copilot. So one of the best tips in terms of 365 Copilot is through the transcripts from calls. So during your Teams meeting, I can let Microsoft 365 Copilot transcribe my call. And then what it will do is after that, around about 10, 15, 20 minutes after the call, it will provide me with a summary of what that call was about. So rather than me having to make notes during the call, potentially taking away my attention during the call, it helps me to actually focus on the call, to be a lot more present, because I know in the background Teams is doing that hard work for me. And then it will provide me, as you can see here, an AI summary of the meeting notes, what was discussed. So it's got 3 bullet points here, but if I just select on each of those, it will show me a drop down with a lot more information in terms of what was discussed. And then here it's got some follow-up tasks as well, and it's got the name for who that follow-up task actually belongs to. Makes it so much easier in terms of trying to send out any correspondence between myself internally within internal communications, or with customers and other conversations that I have as well. And then you can just copy this and it'll copy the entire text. So you can send it via an email, or you can send it to anybody else who needs to have context or access to what was discussed. And also it will provide you with a custom summary, which you can also use to be able to actually share what was discussed on the call. So you've got an executive report or a speaker summary as well, which will show you what each speaker said during the call. And only people within your organization will have access to this. So if you've got any data or any conversations that are confidential or that are only to be shared internally, it won't show or share this transcript with anyone that was external, even if they were on that call, unless if you obviously give them access to it. So automatically that your conversations are kept in-house. And then one cool thing as well is that it will show you where your name was mentioned, and this is on mentions here, so you can see my name was mentioned twice, and it will show you who mentioned my name and exactly when, and also it will show you exactly what they said here. So I can go to there quickly to see where my name was mentioned. So let's say if I was halfway through a call and I had to jump on another call, I can go back and see what had happened, where my name's been mentioned, and also I can just go through the summary as well to be able to find the information. And if you do want to, there's also the full transcript as well for that call. So you can use that to listen or to actually read the full transcript. You can use the search function here to be able to search some keywords. So it'll take you exactly to where you need to find that information. And then you've got the Copilot button here as well. So you can actually interact with Copilot as part of this call. So if I wanted to ask Copilot a question in terms of the call, I can ask it, who spoke about Vicky Waterfield, and then it will go through the transcript and hopefully it should be able to give me an answer. So it'll tell me it was Christo who spoke about Vicky Waterfield during the Copilot webinar prep, and then it will say exactly what Christo mentioned. And then if I want to, one of the things I really find useful is I can ask Copilot to draft an email to Christo summarizing the meeting. So rather than myself copying this and going to Outlook to then draft the meeting, I can ask Copilot directly in this Teams meeting to be able to actually draft that meeting, and I can just copy and paste that directly into Outlook and send it to whoever needs to. So it will provide me with a clean, ready to send email summarizing the call, grounded on exactly what was discussed. So then it's done all that for me, and then I can just copy that response, put it in my email, and then it's ready to send. So once again, saving you potentially hours, depending on what your role is, how many calls you go into. It means that you can let Copilot in the background transcribe your call. It can provide you with a summary at the end of it. And then if you want to send any notifications or emails, you can just do that through Copilot, helping you draft an email response. So once again, if you have any questions regarding anything that I've spoken about or anything that I've shown you, just pop it into the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. And then moving on to the next application. So we've got Microsoft Word. So here, Copilot is really good for document creation, rewriting, and any structural improvements. So a lot of the times, you're kind of stuck in terms of, where do you start from a document? If you're writing, let's say, a proposal, or you want to write a document advising someone of something, you just need that inspiration in terms of where to start, and Copilot can really help you to do that. So I'm going to ask Copilot to help create, so I've just written a prompt. So create a short proposal summarizing the benefits of adopting advantages in managed IT service solutions, including executive summary, business value points, and next steps. And what Copilot will allow you to do is it will allow you to actually reference other documents as well to be able to help create this proposal that I'm looking to create. So what I will do is I will just type in the document that I want to reference, discussion. Able to find any documents. I think this happened to me earlier, so if I just create a new one, hopefully that will work better. There we go, for discussion. So what I can do is I can reference that email chain that I had with Christo previously, and then I can also reference any meetings as well. So if I do Copilot webinar prep, so I can also reference any meetings as well as part of that, and you can reference Excel spreadsheets, any other documents that you want to be able to help you provide context for the document that you actually want to create. And if I just select generate, Copilot will then generate that document for me. And once again, as mentioned, I will have to go and review what Copilot has produced to make sure that I'm happy with it, everything makes sense, and I'm happy with the standard that it has created. So what I can do is I can let Copilot regenerate. If I'm not happy with it, I can discard. If I want to make it more formal, change the tone, make it longer, make it shorter, I can do that. And if I want to edit the prompt, I can also just click on here as well to do that. So once Copilot is done and created that draft, it will just do that there with me. So just going through the information. So once it's done and I'm happy with it, I will select keep it. And then what I can also do is I can use Copilot to review and make any changes to specific elements of this document. So if I just want to change this paragraph, I can highlight that and just ask Copilot to auto rewrite. If I'm happy with everything else, but just want to make a change to this executive summary, then I can also just do that section only. And then Copilot will provide me with some examples. So it's got 1, 2, and 3, depending on which one I like. If I like the third one best, I would then select replace, and it will replace that for me automatically. And one of the good things that I also like in terms of Copilot is it will also help me to review my document to see actually how good it is. So here, when I select the Copilot panel, it will provide me with some sample prompts that I can use to be able to interact with Copilot. But if I want to get some analysis, what I will put is review this document and identify areas I can improve. And then it'll act as a reviewer, provide me with some feedback on that document, how good it is, what can be done to improve. So it's provided me with some suggestions here in terms of what I can do to improve. So it's got some notes here for what I can do, some next steps and conclusions. So yeah, it provides me with that feedback so that I can make sure that the documents that I do are a lot better. And yeah, it does provide you with good feedback as well. So once again, obviously, like I said, you've got to make sure that you're happy with what Copilot produces, and also make sure that you pre-review anything that it produces to make sure that you're happy with it. So I'll say, yeah, those are the main benefits in terms of Word. And then I will move on to Microsoft PowerPoint. And once again, any questions, do let me know. And PowerPoint is pretty similar to Word in terms of what it does. So yeah, it's helping you be able to actually create any slide decks instantly. Once again, helping you to make sure that you've got a good solid start point for actually creating your Microsoft PowerPoint. So what I'll do is pretty similar to Word as well. So you can create a presentation with referencing a file. So what I would do is I would just put in one of my prompts. So I want to create a presentation about the importance of conducting a Copilot readiness assessment before implementing licenses. And then I want to reference a document, and the document is going to be called The Importance of a Copilot Readiness Assessment Before Implementing Licenses. So once I'm happy with that, it will just give me a start point. So then at least I've got somewhere to start with my presentation and make any changes as and when I want going forward. So before it creates the slides, it will show me the outline of the content that it's going to create. And then if I want to make any changes to that prompt, I can edit the prompt before it creates the slides. And then I can put in some image preferences that I like. So once I'm happy with that, I can select generate slide. And then it will just create that slide for me, once again giving you that good starting point and potentially saving you hours in terms of trying to work out what to write, what to put in your PowerPoint. And once again, you can, if you've had a call with someone, you can record that call, turn that call into an email, and then put that email into Microsoft Word, and then using your Microsoft Word document, you can then turn that into a Microsoft PowerPoint. And then once you're happy with that, you can review your PowerPoint. If you're not happy with it, you can discard it and start again. But if you're happy with it, you can select keep it. and then you can interact with your PowerPoint just like you would with any other normal PowerPoint that you've created yourself. So you can make as many changes as you want, as in how you feel. You can review it, and then if you want Copilot to make any changes for you, so you can select the text again like you did within the Word application, and then you can select auto rewrite, and it will rewrite that for you. If you're happy with that, keep it. And then other options, so you can potentially, condense it, which I think just kind of squashes it all together. And then other options, so you can visualize it as a list. If you feel like the slide is maybe too wordy and you just want to trim it down. So those are probably the main benefits in terms of PowerPoint. And obviously, once again, like with Word, you've got the panel for Copilot here to be able to interact with Copilot in a little bit more detail. You can summarize the presentation. You can also ask it to create a new slide. If you want to add any more additional slides, you can also help Copilot. Copilot can help you to do that, or you can create your own new slides manually. And also you can actually upload your own branding kit to Microsoft 365 Copilot as well, to ensure that your PowerPoint generates images and documentation to follow your company's own visual identity, which is a cool little trip. So that's also something that you can do in the background as well to make sure that your branding is integrated in your Microsoft PowerPoints as well. So here you can see it's got some summary, some different prompts that you can use as well in terms of your PowerPoints. But in terms of PowerPoint, I think it's mainly creating those PowerPoints, saving you time to be able to do that, and then you've got to obviously review them yourself to make sure that you're happy with what Copilot has produced. And then in terms of Excel, I will share my screen. So here I've just got a sample data set in terms of some sales data that I've got. And once again, Copilot in terms of Excel helps you to get some analytics, helps you to summarize your data, and also you can get some high-level information just by asking Copilot questions. So let's say if you've got data that's rows and rows and rows and columns and columns and columns, which is going to take you hours to be able to digest, you can let Copilot do that for you. So I'm just going to use one of the idea prompts that it's provided me here. So summarize using pivot tables or charts. So hopefully it will analyze all the sales data, by the day, region, salesperson, product, etc., to be able to summarize this data very, very quickly for me. So it's analyzed the data, and here is what it's found. So it's just finishing up, and it does this within literally seconds, whereas previously I would have had to do it manually, and it can take me a couple of minutes, to be able to do that. And if you're working on a lot of spreadsheets, that can easily amount to hours a day and week. All right, so if I just add that to a new sheet, and then it's created this pivot table for me, and I can interact with the table as and when I like, as you would with a normal table. So if I wanted to see the salesperson and revenue generated, I can quickly interact with it here, just like any normal pivot table. So yeah, that's done literally within a matter of seconds. And then I can also interact it to find out some information in terms of the data that is presented on here. So if I just ask Copilot what are the top opportunities based on this data, and then it should hopefully provide me with an answer. Just give it a few seconds. Once again, it's really useful when you've got masses of data that you're going through all the time, and sometimes you don't have time to go through it all, or if you just want high-level summary of the data that you've been given, you can do that, and Copilot will do it for you very, very quickly. So what it's done is it's now found. So what it's done is it's interpreted what I meant by top opportunities as product and region combinations with the highest revenue. So what it's done is found the product and the region and the highest revenue, and it's done that within literally seconds. So I'm able to easily digest that data to say, this is my top selling product, and the region, and this is a sum of revenue that I've been able to produce. So yeah, once again, Copilot can do that for you within literally seconds. It can help you to analyze that data, helping you to make decisions a lot faster and a lot quicker. And then yeah, it can help you to explain your data, interpret it, and then you can create your own pivot tables, which you can then use to create your own charts to be able to visually see that data even better. So that's probably one of the best use cases in terms of Excel. And then last but not least, just got the Copilot application itself. So this is where your chat sits. So it's mainly your centralized hub for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So what you can do here, you can see your requests and conversations. So all my requests and conversations that I've had all sit in this application. And then if you're constantly working on the same project or constantly asking Copilot the same question, you can use this application to actually refer back to your conversation so that you can get the same answers that you need. And if you're working on the exact same, let's say, prompt, or if you're asking Copilot something similar, you can use the same conversation so that it then uses that same context when providing you with an answer. So it helps you provide context, and then it also helps you to see all your conversations. And you can use Copilot to search through your work information, or also you can use Copilot to search directly to the web as well. So you've got that option, and then you can also decide how quick it thinks, whether it's a quick response, you want it to think deeper, or you want Copilot to determine that itself. And then you've got further models here as well. And then you can also create your own agents if you want to. So I would create an agent, let's say if I want Copilot to summarize all my emails at 9 a.m. In the morning, you can create an agent to be able to do that, and you can create all your own custom agents as and when you want. And then it's got the library in terms of what you've created, your notebooks, and you can create some images as well if you need to, and then you can integrate with other applications as well. So yeah, in terms of the tips and tricks, I would say those are, in a nutshell, the biggest and quick wins that I could show you today. So if I just go back to my presentation. So I'm happy to share that there is a limited time offer from Microsoft, which provides you with significant savings when you bundle Microsoft 365 Copilot with your business. So Microsoft has offered three bundles in order to save you some money. So the first bundle is Business Standard and Copilot for Business Bundle, which offers the deepest discount at 35% off the regular price. And then the Business Premium and Copilot for Business Bundle includes advanced security compliance features with a 25% discount. And the Business Basic and Copilot for Business Bundle doesn't have a bundle discount, but the standalone Copilot for Business license currently has a 15% discount. And these offers have an expiration date of the 1st of April 2026, so do act quickly. And these offers are only available for a minimum of 10 seats. And as mentioned previously, you do need a qualifying Microsoft license already. So whether that's Business Premium, Standard, Basic, or E3, E5, you will need that to be able to access and have Microsoft Copilot licenses. However, if you're looking to obviously implement Microsoft 365, or you already have Microsoft 365, don't let that investment go to waste. So a lot of AI projects fail not due to technology limitations, but due to poor data quality, unrealistic expectations, and a lack of strategic alignment. So what we're offering is our Copilot Readiness Assessment, which evaluates your data and Microsoft 365 environment, and that identifies any potential roadblocks and creates a strategic deployment roadmap for you. And then on top of that as well, we're providing our training and enablement program, which provides you with interactive training, role-specific use cases, and guided prompts and practical scenarios for yourselves, and ongoing coaching to make sure that Copilot is effectively integrated into your workflows depending on your role and your organization. So technology alone doesn't always transform productivity. However, strategic implementation is the key to ensure that your Copilot investment actually delivers real return on investment. So if you have any questions regarding Copilot licenses, do obviously let me know. I know we've covered a few things today in terms of Copilot, and I want to address any questions that you may have. But I'll start by sharing some common questions and answers. Obviously, feel free to ask more questions that you may have. I'll go through the chat in a second. So first up, in terms of security and data privacy, your data stays within your Microsoft 365 tenant, and it isn't used for any external AI training. Copilot respects all your existing permissions and helps comply with any key industry standards. And then in terms of technical skills, the great thing about Copilot is that no coding or technical knowledge is required. If you can type or speak a question in English or probably any other language soon, you can use Copilot effectively. It doesn't need anyone technical to be able to use it. And then will Copilot replace my job? I mean, there's been some concerns about Copilot replacing people's jobs, but really Copilot is just an augmentation tool. It handles those repetitive tasks so that you can focus on high level strategic work. And how long does it take to see a return on investment? Most organizations see quite immediate time savings, with users typically saving, onwards of 10 plus hours per month per user. So within an organization, you can easily rack up hundreds, if not thousands of hours saved. And, the full productivity gains are usually realized within a couple of months. And can you control what Copilot can access? Yeah, IT admins can set the policies, and Copilot respects all of your existing Microsoft 365 permissions. So you have full control of your data and access. So these cover some of the more common questions. And if there's anything else that you'd like to know, I'm here to be able to answer your questions. Also, you can reach out to me directly if there's anything else that's more specific to you that you'd like me to answer. So in terms of next steps, so what are the next steps for yourself? So if you're ready to transform your workday, even if you are already using Copilot today, so we've got a recommended pathway. So make sure you secure the promotional pricing for Microsoft 365 Copilot using one of the business bundles. This is available until April the 1st. So by upgrading now, you can lock in savings of up to 35%. So there's potentially hundreds of pounds of savings that are available for you. So make sure that you don't miss out. And also, that's not all. We've got our Copilot readiness assessment slots, which are filling up fast. So this is a comprehensive assessment, which is crucial to ensure a smooth deployment of Copilot, which will help prevent any data exposure or security risk. So make sure that you secure your assessment slot now to avoid any delays. And once you've completed the assessment, we'll work with you on role-specific training and adoption. So this will help you to make sure that your team immediately starts realizing the productivity gains of Copilot. Even if you're already on Copilot now, which a lot of you have already said you already have access to and licenses, reach out to us to be able to provide you with some of the role-specific training that can help you to actually realize some of the benefits of Copilot as well. And the benefits don't stop there. We'll continue to monitor your usage, gather user feedback, and also refine your approach to maximize those productivity gains, over the long term. And as you can see, over 1,000 organizations are already using Copilot and saving, 10 plus hours per month per user using Microsoft 365 Copilot. So don't let your competitors gain the advantages. Seize the opportunity to transform your workday today. And finally, if you're ready to connect and talk about your Copilot journey, get in contact with myself. We can book your assessment. I can provide you with a personalized quote. Or if you just want a further discussion about anything else, Microsoft 365 Copilot related, please reach out. So yeah, in terms of the presentation, that's all for me. If you have any further questions, I will just have a look through the chat now. So the session is being recorded, so I can share the sessions with you afterwards. So for the Teams course summary, do you know how I can set Copilot to be available during and post-call by default? How to switch post-call on for each meeting? Yes, you should be able to. I was actually trying to have a look at this as well myself. So if I just show you my Teams meeting calendar that I was about to send to Krista, it does have an option for facilitator itself for this meeting. So if I turn it on, it will automatically then have Copilot on the call automatically. So I'm sure there's other options here. There we go. So record and transcribe automatically. So there is an option here for where you can make sure that Copilot comes on automatically and starts recording straight away. And then you can change your accesses as well here, as you can see as well. So there are meeting options where you can edit yourself to be able to make sure that they fit whatever that you need. And then any other questions? Let me have a look. So do I need to use new Outlook for Office 365? Yes, you will have to use new Outlook for Office 365, sorry. And then can you upload branding from another solution? Yeah, I mean, you can upload branding as and when you want, how you feel from any other solution as well. So as long as you can, save it onto your drive, you're able to use whatever branding you like. And then in the Copilot app, what's the difference between research and analyst agents? Now, I'll have to double check that for you as well. So going back to the Copilot, so we've got researcher, and then we've got analyst as well. So ask analyst to analyze your data and generate insights. So I guess you can add any work content here, and then it will analyze your data and provide you with insights in terms of anything that you should know. And then what do you want to research as well? So analyze the market position of X company. So it provides you with some examples here for what you can use this researcher for. And then you can add in any work content that you want as well and select the sources that you want it to come from. So you can pick as and when the sources that you would like. So you can use, if you want to turn off the web, you can turn that off, and then it will show you exactly where the sources are from. And then if you want to turn off anything that's work related, you can do that as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, what you guys are using Copilot for, and if you feel like, research and analysis are agents that you feel like would be useful for yourselves. And then, is there anything else? How do we, in terms of discount? Yeah, what I can do is I can double check that for you. I can reach out to you straight after this, Michael, just to check in terms of your licenses at the moment, and then we can have a discussion. I can provide you with a quotation in terms of how you can unlock those discounts. But yeah, as mentioned, they're available up until the 1st of April, minimum users of 10, and it depends on exactly where you are at the moment in terms of your contractual situation as well with your current licenses. But what I'll do is I'll reach out to you afterwards, and anyone else who wants to learn in terms of discounts, happy to discuss that with you as well. And also you can just also purchase the standalone Copilot licenses, yeah, if you don't want to obviously purchase them as part of the bundle. But happy to reach out to all of you to find out exactly where you are at in terms of your licensing, and to also provide you with some options as well. Yeah, if there's any other questions, do let me know. So you've got my contact details here. If there's anything else that you need from myself, do let me know. Otherwise, yeah, if there's no other questions, I hope you've learned at least one useful thing today. And yeah, if you also want a copy of the recording, happy to share that with you as well. Thank you all for your time. Good to speak to you all and to be able to present to you. Thank you.